God, most people. But one of my favorite that is when we all get back together. Everybody had a wonderful summer. We will spend the next 45 minutes together, get you some key updates for the year. But before we get too far into it, I'd like to offer the floor to our fearless leader, Dr. Preston, or to welcome you back. It is so good to see you back here in back on campus. I know many of you were actually here on campus during Enrollment. We just spent some time together at the Chancellor's Retreat. A lot of faculty members here teaching, working on their programs, doing additional and exceptional work for the course of the summer. But you got to take some well-deserved time off. Now, my tan might actually betray people like, oh, where have you been? I said, I'm Hispanic. This is 3 days of the afternoons. That's it. Friday, Saturday, home by 4 p.m. on Sunday, working on performance evaluation. So this is but I will say this. I feel like after I'm starting my 9th year as president, I feel like I finally arrived in Virginia because I said I went to the beach. And we Jersey people say we went where? Down the shore. Down the shore. But I was at the beach. There has been so much activity going on this summer. Some of it is very visible. I hope you do take an opportunity to walk around campus. Some really beautiful spaces for students to gather, for faculty and staff to connect with students outside of the classroom. If you've not been into the TLC, I'm sure many of you were there this morning. It's truly a magnificent, beautiful space. The Nest is also coming along. Some classroom refurbishments. We received some really great news late last week. As you may be aware, the Commonwealth of Virginia invested $20 million into the entire VCCS for CTE program. And late last week, we learned when you think $20 million across 23 colleges, maybe I can outfit a lab. Maybe we're dividing it equally. But going back to the theme that we've been talking about together for quite some time about preparation, meeting opportunity, our case making for how prepared we were to stand up, expand, and scale some existing career and technical education programs, but also start new ones, understanding the labor market information, wage outcomes, opportunities in our region. Of that 20 million, we learned that Reynolds has taken a $3.5 million share of that $20 million. I learned our many people in this room, specifically those who teach in career and technical education, who really understand what's happening in our region, the needs of our employers, wage outcomes, etc. So that's in large part due to your work and knowledge, and in great part due to our grant-making team and some folks in our executive team who were relentless in pursuit of those precious resources. So we're really excited about that. We were also this summer really busy doing our unlocking opportunity work with the Aspen Institute. Some of you have been involved in that work. More of you will be involved in that work moving forward. Dr. Dwyer and I were actually on a call yesterday with our coach and facilitator. We were thrilled to find out that our coach and facilitator for Unlocking Opportunity is actually Josh Weiner, the executive director of the Aspen Institute College Excellence Program. And when we got off that call, I was texting Lori. I was like, "You heard what he said, right? You heard what he said." She said, "Yeah, well, I heard her." Sometimes when I think of Lori, I think of like tattoo because remember. He lost. It wasn't like tattoo that. He doesn't change your accent. But what Josh Weiner said was that Reynolds Community College, our work is far ahead of most of the other 55 network colleges doing this work. Again, this has to do with the work, the thousands of things that happen every single day that have us prepared to do really significant work on behalf of our students and the communities we're called to serve. A couple of other things that I did want you share with you, and we'll be talking a little bit more about this when we gather in late September for in-service. You might recall that at the end of the academic year, that was 2026, we sent out an all-college survey because we really did want to hear from you about your experience with Reynolds as an employer-employee relationship. And we got some really significant, not only a high number of respondents, significant number of respondents, but really constructive, thoughtful feedback on your life working here at Reynolds, what you want to see more of, less of, what you wish would happen, and so forth. And I think you'll be pleased that we heard you and your colleagues in non-teaching faculty and staff, and we'll be putting a lot of things in place that allows you, or that invites you, I should say, invites you to have greater voice in the direction of our institution, invites you to participate more in the recognition of your peers and your colleagues, and to really shape and frame how we work together moving forward in terms of shared governance, participation in decision making, recognition of employees. So I want to thank you for those of you who took the time to respond to that survey and then took the time to actually flesh out why you answered the way that you did. That's incredibly helpful for us. So I've never heard anybody ever say, I just wish they'd talk longer. And if she just talked for another 10 minutes, that would add another 10 minutes a day. So I'm going to keep my comments very brief and end there. A lot of really good work this summer, a lot of change this summer. Elephant in the room. There has been change. And friends, there will continue to be change because we are living in an era of change. I heard a friend say, colleague, I won't take credit for a comment that she made, but I thought it was so insightful for the times that we're living in. We used to call them oncoming storms. Oh, the storm of COVID, or the storm of AI, or the storm of fill in the blank, the storm that's coming. The storm is our climate now. It's just the climate that we're living in. And when she said that, I was like, I don't know if I want to be living in a storm all the time. But we are at a place where change is coming rapidly, change happening internally, change happening because it's required of us. A lot of work in the Virginia Community College System office on one system initiatives. For some, those initiatives are celebrated. For some, it's get off my lawn and let me keep my autonomy. You might guess where I am. But there's a lot of change happening within our system. A lot of change happening within the state, investment that will require us reporting on our progress and how we utilize those precious resources so the clock is ticking for us to show that when you invest in Reynolds Community College, we deliver the outcomes that were promised in our proposals. This is the climate of rapid change, and I can't say that I'm incredibly comfortable with it, but I better get comfortable with it because it's just the world that we're living in. And so my commitment to you is to do our best to continue to support you in the ways that you need that support, whether it's teaching and learning, whether it's operationally, whatever that is. Our commitment is to truly be of service to you so that you can show up with your best to the students who next week will be walking into your classrooms and wondering, for those, especially those first students, what is Reynolds Community College like? What's this college like? I was very upset yesterday in my Wegmans when a young woman in our service region, she looked like she just graduated from high school. And I said, oh, what are you doing after graduation? She said, oh, I'm going to college. Where are you going to college? Great point. You went to Reading High School. That would be like short pump area. Why? If she had said because I want funeral services, I'd be like, all right, you know. Nameless. It was a program we offered. It was a program we offered. And so, I'm a little competitive, and Bill think he knows that, so don't feel like you have to go, oh, she's talking about you this morning, but Bill knows it's very competitive. But my point is this, that next week, just like that young woman who's going to Bright Point next week, there will be students coming in and saying, I made a choice to go to Reynolds. What will it be like? And for many, you will be that first real touch point they have as to what it means to be a Reynolds Community College student. And I know, based on what we hear from our students about the best faculty that they have, they knew my name, they answered emails in a timely way, they responded, I got my assessment back, so I knew, like, within a week how I did on a test or how I did on a paper, so I can prepare all of those things. Our students are really practical, those things. Just remember that each one of you will have that opportunity for that student to walk out that first day of class and head home, whether they're telling their kid, their parent, their spouse, whomever it is. I had a great first day of class. Great teacher. Super welcoming environment. It's super clean. Parking lots. I felt safe while I was here. The thousands of things that happen every single day. I will say this over and over again. There is not one of employee at this college, not one. I include myself. Higher in that, I include a lot of folks in that. Not one has the greatest opportunity to make an impact on a student than a faculty member. No one knows our students better than you. No one does. And so we rely on you to help plan. What do our students need? What are we missing? We're relying on you because you are the person who is in front of those students for the most time throughout the academic year. You are the reason they came here. Nobody said, well, I hear Reynolds has an awesome president. They might hear, I hear Reynolds has a great nursing program. They might. By the way, I don't have any ambulance story to tell this time. Last time I was in the news, twice there's been no ambulance since we had Meniere's syndrome. So anyhow, I just wish you all a fantastic academic year ahead. I cannot promise you that it will be smooth sailing and that the wind will always be at our back because that's just the environment that we're living in. But I will say this, we're all in this together. We are all in this together. And our students are counting on us to show up with our best. And I will say they deserve nothing less. Thank you all. I wish you a great semester and I look forward to seeing y'all in the hallway. Y'all. Finally did it. Now we got her to say y'all and she went to the cheese. Take your next read, you can get them. Thank you, Dr. Pando, for opening remarks. Okay. That's interesting. That's not as fun as chosen. I think it's been allowed to get my back. That's mostly love the shout out. What is that? She's like, look right. She's running about like Dr. Pando said, a lot of folks took really well in their and I want to applaud you for those that did that way, charged your batteries. I also want to applaud the folks that chose to work through the summer. And there is no right and wrong in that as long as everybody shows up on a day like today, right? In the next academic year. Things that I'd like to specifically call out for the summer is we hosted our inaugural Faculty Leadership Academy. And there was a select group of faculty who stepped up and said, I want to take a couple weeks of my summer to really work on my leadership development. Whether that's in the faculty role, whether they're aspiring to administration, department chair, or just being the most influential and productive faculty member possible.
And I appreciate that group not only for investing in themselves that way, but for giving to our college and being our guinea pigs in this inaugural year. And many thanks to Dr. Jackson and the CETL team for putting together an excellent event. If you were part of that Leadership Academy, can you just stand up quick? So much. We also did another this summer bridge program this year, which was just a tremendous success. And I know so many of you either gave of yourselves to write the curriculum for that in prior years. That was still delivered again this year. Some of you were actually there instructing again this year. Many of you volunteered for what I would call speed interview, or it's not dating. Yeah, it's like speed interviewing and meeting networking. And so I just want to applaud everybody that comes together like that over the summer for our students. We had opticianry and dental faculty out in the community at churches and community centers teaching young children how to do self-care and wellness. We had another T10 graduation last week. We've got our nurses that are hitting home runs in the NCLEX scores. Our ESL numbers are up. I mean, it's just, it goes on and on, y'all, and it's really remarkable. So people a lot of times come back and go, how was the summer? And it was productive. It was really, really productive, and I hope it was restful for some as well. So I don't want to bury the lead. Obviously, you all saw an announcement that I sent. Hopefully, you saw an announcement. Otherwise, here you go. If you're really tuned out an email, that's fine. We did a reorganization of our academic schools over the summer. And so I just want to talk about kind of the why behind that and make sure everybody's aware of the current structures. Obviously, as you know, we had a transition in leadership. We had an opportunity then to pause and really rethink how we are organized. And I have a very privileged seat to be able to look across the schools and see these different strengths that our different programs and faculty bring. And one of the things that I'm trying to be really intentional about now is driving resources as close to the front lines as we can, right? As close to the teaching and learning as possible. And when I looked across our schools, there's really two primary reasons why we went into this reorganization. In no particular order, one is there's a lot of opportunity for some strengths that exist within the former SFIT programs to have a positive impact on the program's interdisciplinary connections that they are now with in the newly constructed schools, and vice versa. We have very different strengths in different areas, and I'm hoping that we can build greater interdisciplinary, greater curricular alignment, and create more opportunity for faculty community being together. Sometimes we tend to silo by whatever artificial walls and organizations we put ourselves in. So we're broadening those walls a little bit. And then also by making these shifts, it allows, this isn't as sexy as, student success and all that, but it allows us some organizational efficiencies that we could really drive more resources to the classroom. You'll notice in a minute here, I'm going to share all of our new faculty, and you'll also notice that next year we may have to go to the gallery. I don't like the gallery, so I pushed it one more year, but we're busted at the seams here. And we're adding to the faculty, and as our enrollment grows, our full-time faculty lines are growing also. So we're able to kind of make this shift in a way that I hope does not take our North Star does not change. We're in the vision, teaching and learning doesn't change. It's not a programmatic change, but there are some organizational reorganizations that we can do that can hopefully allow us to move more efficiently and collaboratively across departments. So just in case you didn't were wonderfully off email, there are now the 3 schools. We have the School of Business, Humanities, and Public Service. It's going to take me a minute. So we're also agreeing to HSS and STEM and whatever, but Dean Tong is the leader over that school, along with Dr. Tom Addington, but we are adding another associate dean line there, particularly one that will hopefully have a focus on more of the business accounting marketing side of the house and supporting that. It's a very, very large program. But you can see the programs that are linked together there. Oh, that's not right. We still have the School of Health Professions, no changes there, same programs, Dean Lawson and Associate Dean Green still at the helm there. And then we have the School of STEM and Trades. So that is being led by Dr. Brinkley. Dave Addington, who was the Associate Dean in SBIT, is joining that school along with Dr. Marquita C.
Rossi.
Gosh, I have David Addington. You're not one person. Did I put Tom Del Rossi? Oh,
I agree.
sorry, Dave. I'm sorry. It's Dave Del Rossi and Tom Addington. My goodness. And so sorry. And Marquita C. Marquita, where are you? Marquita, everybody, we can congratulate Marquita on being promoted to the ground running, like she was made for this. It's a beautiful thing. And so I'm really confident, and I already have walked by and have not interrupted because it's just too good stuff going on inside. But I see Dave and Marquita in there strategizing and having, brainstorming sessions, and it's exciting to see. So, those are the three schools. In full transparency, there is some stuff in the background that's not sexy, but it's got to get done in HRMS and SIS and the catalog and all of the systems that support our system to make these realignments. Some of those things are done. Some of them will be happening over the course of the fall. So if you, but for now, we are starting the academic year under this new structure. I mentioned the volume of new faculty that are coming. We've had, as you know, we keep sharing enrollment growth. Someone's got to teach those students, right? And so we're adding to our learnings. And I won't go name by name here. And that says coming soon. It's Branda. But everything else is great. We have another new faculty, and of course, these faculty will be going through the first in flight, so they will have a great cohort together. It's really cool to look out and see faces that I've only seen once during the interview process, and I'm so excited you're here. I can't wait to get to know you more. Some familiar faces as well. One person who isn't listed on here, but who I want to call out, Karen Strachko, is not new to any of them. But I'd like to congratulate Karen because she won the seat of the permanent horticulture faculty member in 7 to 8. So I didn't list you there because we're going to go. But she received a permanent faculty line role based on her good work. So. We still have a bunch that are in the works. So what you can't see there is we're still hiring in biology, math, and information technology. We're also hiring in nursing, respiratory therapy, med lab tech, and optistry. And so a lot in the works, more colleagues to come. We will continue to keep pace. We are really closely monitoring where our enrollment growth is and what those faculty to student ratios are, so that we are sure to keep pace with that. What we don't want to do is bloat, so that in a future state of enrollment were never declined, we want to avoid any circumstance of having to let people go. But also we need to keep pace, and our adjunct benches candidly can't do it because our growth is so strong. That is the best part to have, right? But I'm really excited for those of you that are new and adding into this team. You're joining a remarkable group professionals in this room, and the impact that you will have and the potential you have is second to none. I want everybody in this room that's not in their first year to find someone that's in their first year, help them, reach out. Let's make this their best possible best possible first year. So welcome to everybody. There are other people that are new to the college besides and actually there's quite a few folks that are new to the college that are that you will want to get to know. And I will send these out so you can these slides so you can actually see. Not all of them, but there was a few people that I wanted you to know. One of them is Peggy Spiak. And Anna Knowles are in our Career Connect Center, Career Services Office. They'll be probably reaching out to you soon. So when you hear Peggy and Anna and Michelle Simmons is in there as well, know that they're leading the charge on our new Career Connect Center. And I think you can anticipate some definite growth and progress in that area in the year ahead. We have Jamie Peoples join the team. She is the new Associate Vice President of Finance. So you probably won't see her a lot, but you'll meet her when things go sideways. So Jamie Peoples is key. Becky Scheider, is it Scheider? Scheider is our new digital services librarian. She is down at the downtown campus, so you'll be those of you that are down there will be seeing her. And then also, I'm really excited. I didn't put names up here because maybe aren't even signed yet, so I'm just saying generally. But we are starting 3 new embedded advisors in each of the schools. So be working really intensely in the year ahead with the Advising Services Department to try and build a more comprehensive, holistic advising experience for our students. And part of that is that part of my early learning in that work has been the some of a disconnect between the academic affairs folks and the advising folks. And so we're going to put some intentional things in place to rebuild that. For example, department chairs will be meeting with the advisors to share information on their programs. And we're working with Catherine Faulkner and Benno Rubin to make sure curriculum updates are getting to the advisors so they don't misspeak about prereqs and things of that nature. And then we're going to have these 3 actually coming forward. There's a 4th one that will be coming for the School of Business, Humanities, and Public Service because their school is just ginormous in terms of student counts. But these embedded advisors, they're not dedicated 31. It's not that now you all don't have your advising caseload, but they are there to help students come in when a faculty member isn't there and help triage until the faculty member is available to serve them. They're able to help in the summer months. They're able to help with more complicated cases. They're able to help us connect information more readily. They will really have a hand in both teams. So they report to the advisor, be housed in your school. So when these folks start, please welcome them with very open arms. They are not, they have a tricky job because they have hands in both. So they're not the person that you can go, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? Because they already have a dean and a director that are doing that. But they are there to be a resource and helpful and better connect our team. So keep an eye out. Those names, there will be some familiar faces in there as well. And so keep an eye out for those, but we're really excited about that. Oh my. Okay. For those of you that were here last spring, I want to provide you an update on unlocking opportunity. And for those of you that are new, when you get into first in flight, we will go back and I will make sure you get all the information to get completely caught up. But at a prior all faculty meeting, I shared this community vibrancy framework with you. This is the framework that transcends. It doesn't matter what strategic direction we have. It doesn't matter what academic plan we have, what president we have, what vice president we have. This is why we exist. This is why we are here. And everything we do at this college ought to align to this framework. And so you'll see me probably at most faculty meetings coming back to connect our work to this. And just as a quick recap, it started out with intentional outreach and affordable access. We know we're an access mission. Are we opening doors to the folks in our community that need us most? Are we being intentional about reaching into zip codes that have low college going rates. And if the answer is yes, and we provide them access and they don't succeed, have we done our job? No. So we move up the framework into early momentum metrics. That's our flight path and ATD work. That is looking at success in our gateway courses. That's looking at those early momentum metrics. We know that if students do their gateway math and English with success in their first year, and they get at least 12 credits, they are 3 times more likely to graduate. No. So we are focusing that on that early momentum and milestone momentum. But if everybody completes and then lives in poverty, have we done our job? No. So we go up the framework into upward mobility and community vibrancy. And that's where we're really looking at, are the jobs that are preparing folks for the workforce, are they actually getting jobs in that workforce? Are they having family sustaining wages? If it's a transfer program, are they actually transferring? Are they earning the baccalaureate? And are they working in the field in which they were trained? That last work is really what is encompassing in our unlocking opportunities. And Dr. Pando referenced, we were one of 55 colleges in the nation selected to participate in this. And we got the good word yesterday that we're already ahead of the cohort in our execution of our unlocking. But this work over the course of the, okay. I swear that Dave Addington, Del Rossi thing, but this is so it's just a reminder because I want this fresh in your minds because you're going to be hearing about it a lot this year. Is we went through a process our first year in unlocking opportunity, and I will go into these later when someone is having a hard time sleeping. But for right now, tell you that what we did was 3 big steps this last year. We determined what our living wage threshold would be in our service region for one single adult. Now we know a lot of our students aren't single adults, they have dependents, but if you were to be, and there's a lot of different methodologies for that. Long story short, $47,085 is living wage threshold in our service region for one single person. Second, we looked at our national benchmarks for transfer completion. So we said, compared to our peers across the country, how many students are completing their transfer programs in 150% of time, and of those, how many are transferring and actually completing the bachelor's within 6 years? So we got those averages. Then, and we did that first. We did that before we looked at our program. And then we took all of our 80-some programs and out the workforce, we held them up against that living wage standard. Are they making it or not? Low, middle, high. And we looked at all of our transfer programs and said, are we at the national standard, below or above? And the good news is, our workforce programs were doing remarkably. There are a couple that we will continue to work on. But let me be very clear, when I say continue to work on, I don't mean cut. I mean, we need to make sure that we're getting students the best opportunities to the living wages possible. And there are things within our control that we can do to effectuate that change. And then we looked at where our transfer programs were. It was strikingly clear. It was so clear, in fact, in our data that the Aspen group came back and asked us, can you go back and look at your data again? That doesn't seem right. Your workforce, no, most colleges have more workforce programs. But if you don't at most of these meetings with all faculty, I'll tell you, here are the programs we're adding, here are the programs we're discontinuing. There's been a lot of program changes. Those have been driven largely by our community need. And that's positioned us really, really well with our program portfolio on the workforce side. Where we have some work to do is around our transfer programs in terms of the number of people who actually go on and earn their baccalaureate in 6 years. Now, there were 3 programs that stood out more than others, and they will not be a surprise, or generally speaking, they will not be a surprise. General studies, which is one that's nothing special or especially bad about Reynolds. That's what students do when they're undecided, right? And it's really easy to quit something that you're undecided. And so we've got to address that. The other thing is, one is liberal arts. Now, liberal arts is an incredibly valuable program, but it is something that culturally we have told students, oh, you don't like math and science? Here's some liberal arts for you. Well, is that what they are really wanting to do? And the thing that I'll tell you about, for those of you that aren't in the liberal arts, it is incredibly nuanced about what you take based on where you're going. We have to provide those students with very specific supports to make sure that they are positioned for success at their four-year institution. And candidly, I don't think we've done it. I don't think we've done it sufficiently. And another area is computer science. And the computer science is a different one. One of the things I'll say about that is we've already done a lot of curriculum changes in computer science that haven't had an opportunity to reflect themselves in the data yet. And I don't want to get out of jail free. We need to address those. But it is something that we'll be tracking and watching how we're placing students. Also, there are some students who, for example, might take computer science and then go off into engineering. And that's not necessarily a bad path, right? But are they completing that? Have we prepared them to make that jump? That sort of thing. So we're going to be spending a lot of time in the next year really focusing on these transfer completion rates as part of our post-completion work. So when you hear me or anybody else reference unlocking opportunity, if you get nothing else, remember, oh, we're going to be working on our post-completion transfer outcomes. That's what that is. Unlocking is post-completion transfer outcomes for us. More to come. Switching gears, I've got a few updates from different divisions, so I'll just let them kind of rattle through it. Dr. Jackson.
Hey guys, welcome back. I missed you guys. I don't like sitting down there in the back of CETL where it's so quiet. Periodically in the summer, I would just wander out, kind of look, and it's gross. It's real quiet. So please come by, come and visit and whatnot. Thank you guys so much for all being here. I just wanted to have a few quick announcements and run over the schedule with you all as well. So upcoming year, not a whole lot is super new. We'll be rolling out a pyramid. You all remember a few years ago, when I came aboard, I did a needs assessment. I asked you all what you wanted. You were like, we used to have these things and these things. And as you know, it takes time to put a lot of these things into place. But one thing that came up every year was having some sort of mentoring program that was formalized to the extent that you have a place to go, a place to find a mentor, a place where we keep all those notes. That has been part of April Prentice's job as a faculty fellow. So we will be rolling that out this fall. Slow roll, please know that like the Faculty Leadership Academy, we like to pilot things, collect data, and then improve. So this is one of those years where we trying it out. If you're interested, April will be having a session tomorrow during the concurrent sessions to explain more about what it takes to both become a mentor as well as to just get a mentor if you're not ready to be a mentor yourself. Other than that, everything that you guys love and ask for will be coming back this year. We'll be having our faculty opportunities. The schedule like last year will go live after Labor Day, allowing you all time to get settled in the year and then go, gosh, I really want to go over X, Y, Z. We will return with the panel series. If you see QR codes around, I've only planned the first panel so far, intentionally. I have dates. But you all really enjoyed the series last year. We got a lot of positive feedback. So the QR codes that say CETL interest, and they're quite literally all over this week, please give them a scan. Let us know what topics you would like to have in a flow or hear in a panel. And my team and I are going to be working in the next few weeks to go ahead and start setting those up. So if there's something in particular you want, let us know. We'll also be continuing with our catalog of services. Last year, one of our most popular services was not show up at a set workshop at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday. Instead, it was you all as department chairs or groups of faculty reaching out to us saying, hey, can you come talk to us about this? Can you run a workshop? We did about a dozen of those last year. It was really a fantastic experience. So we will keep that up. The catalog was sent out to the department chairs. But again, if there's something you want, you have an idea, please reach out to us. If you're asking yourself, if you're new, well, gosh, how do we reach out to them? Newbies, I will give you all of my information tomorrow. It's my blood type, I promise. But for everybody else, if you'll notice, our web address is printed on all the swag because we want you to be taking notes this week as you prepare and then go, gosh, I have a question. Who can I ask? And then look down at your pen and go, oh, wait, I can put in a ticket with CETL and they will. Speaking of, if you notice when you do put in a request, it'll look slightly different. We are beta testing team dynamics internally. This changes no process for you all. You still click on the CETL button. It's just instead of getting a pretty purple Google form, you get the exact same questions on the white page. Other than that, it doesn't change anything about your experience. We're going to see how it goes because we are trying to be a more data-driven department. So that's the big things for this year. Just a few highlights on the schedule to let you all know. We will have the drop-in support on Thursday. That was a huge success. Last year, we only ran the support till noon. However, we had folks lined up to meet with us. So we are extending, you will see, into the afternoon about 1:30, 2 o'clock. And we've got coverage at both campuses. We've also partnered with DOT. Some of them will be with us. Some of them will ask you to go to their DOT drop-in center because they want to get folks used to going down there. So there will be signs. So please utilize that. The schedule on the back is all the concurrent sessions for tomorrow. In order to get credit for attending a session, there will be QR codes posted everywhere that say, sign in to get credit for your session, sign in to get credit. It's going to just take you to an easy form where you tell us your name, you drop down and pick what you were in, etc. So make sure if you want the professional development credit to scan those QR codes in your sessions. That is how we are going to monitor that and upload it. As well, first flights. This year, we are only going to allow the new folks. I know some folks attended first flight sessions last year, and it just got to be, quite honestly, too many people in one room. But if you see these topics that we're covering with the new folks listed on the second page, and you would like us to come to a program with your department, please don't hesitate to let us know. We are absolutely there to help. And as Dr. Dwyer noted and Dr. Pando, there's been a lot of changes this summer, a lot of updates. We have tried to capture most of that in the sessions tomorrow. So when you look at and try to figure out what to attend, look and see, oh gosh, I heard about simple syllabus, I'm a little anxious. There's a session on that. I think that your mentoring is interesting. You want to get into it. There's a session on that. I know that my program is going to have to do some work with our program advisory committee. And gosh darn it, I never see Benno. Benno is here and he is going to do a whole session on it. So anything you have questions about, we've tried to cover. We also have some faculty that are looking at me smiling that are presenting for us, and I won't call them out so they don't fuss at me later. But we've got a lot of faculty presentations as well done by your peers, everything from wellness to how they got Title II compliant because we still have that deadline, even though it was pushed. How they're using AI effectively in their classrooms because we wanted to bring back to the nest less talking at you. Today's the talking at you day, sorry. And more of getting time with your peers to talk about, hey, you get that AI tool in your classroom, you use this technique, you use this. How? Can you help me? And that's what all these sessions are going to be about. So if you have any questions, we've got paper schedules, we've got the QR codes. And again, don't forget to get the swag and all of the goodies that we have for you. And as always, let us know when you need us this year. We are here to support you. Thanks, Dr. Blair.
Morning. I think they were just playing. Good morning. How is everyone? Great. Exactly. It's that. Some are tired, some are excited, some are just trying to figure it all out. Amen for all of it. My name is Jewel Booker. I'm your Faculty Senate President for those who don't know me. And that means that I am one of the team of advocates for you and those who are involved in the shared governance of the college. So when it comes to making decisions and hearing about the changes and all of that, we are some of those who are able to have kind of some more input into the process. But the way we do that is we hear from you. So please, if you are in the room, all of the other senators that are a part of Faculty Senate, if you could stand, not everybody's here right now. We also have some adjunct senators, but if all of the senators could stand quickly, look at all these people. have questions, you already know. You're here, you're part of the Real family. You know that we are big on collaboration, communication. If you've been here for a while, like I have, because I've been here too dang long, you know that we are good with collaboration amongst our peers. We also want to make sure, though, that those small conversations get a greater voice when there's bigger questions that need to be answered. And so you may or may not want to go to your dean and ask those questions. We're there to help you as well. CETL's here to help you. Your deans are there to help you, but you also have peers that can help you answer some of those questions if you don't want to necessarily go directly to one of your administrators. So I just wanted to make sure you saw everybody's face. You got an email earlier this week that had the names of all of your senators. So I want to make sure that you had some faces to go with those names, particularly for those of you who are new. So the people who stood, go say hello to them or to me. We welcome you back. You guys got this. All right, I forgot. Meetings. That's important. We have meetings every first Wednesday of every month from 3 to 5. So look out for email. Okay, now I'm done. Sorry.
Great. Hi, everybody. I'm Tim Bronstetter, Dean of Learning Resources. Everybody knows that feeling. First day of class, a little bit of jitters. It's really bad. Those first couple years you do it, and as you get older, you know, you get better, calmer. You know, like I need to do surgery the first day. I'm like pounding. You're got the roar in my ears because I've been out of the classroom too long right now. I'm going to stick to my very most basic things for tutoring and Library Central. There's 3 things you're going to hear me saying over and over. You're going to be tired of me. First, tutoring and Library Central. We are here for all of our students. We are here to provide support to every single student in every class, not every time necessarily, but during their careers. Everyone, a good education means you get help at some point. So we really think this is nothing less than they deserve. We're here for students. So that's number 1. Number 2, and this is going to seem obvious, but lots of people forget or just don't know. We are free tutoring services it's free to students. I get lots of students that come in and say, oh, hey, you know, I would love to do this, but I can't afford it. So it's nothing to our students. It costs nothing to our students. I mean, it costs us, but. And then last thing, I'm super excited to say this. We are now 1 click away in Canvas. There's a little button on the left-hand bar in Canvas. And thank you, Kevin, for all of his work putting this together. The whole page that it goes to. It was quite complicated. It was a lot of work. I'm really grateful to him. But with 1 click, they can get to a page in Canvas that shows them all of our services, how to sign up for appointments, what is available to them, which courses we tutor in, all of that. So that's all out there. I highly encourage everyone, please come tour the library. If you get a chance today, that would be great. I'll be doing a session if you want more on that. The last thing I'll mention is that this semester we have a new program where we are putting more tutors, librarians, and consultants into Canvas sections. We are calling the name for these tutors is course coaches. They are here to connect with the students and to encourage them to use our services. So if you have one of these, if you are in math or English, you will almost certainly have one of these course coaches appearing in your courses. I'm going to be going around giving people lots of information about this and what's going on. And if you have any questions about it, I really encourage you can contact me directly, dbronstetter@reynolds.edu. It's up to you to spell it. And that's all I've got.
Just looking quick follow-up notes on TLC. First of all, if you're going to have a class coach in your section, they'll be reaching out to you, and then you are going to, as the instructor, define how you want that used. So you're going to say, I want you to reach out to the students in this way, or I don't want you to do it in this way. you have complete instructional control over your class, but this person is in there to help connect students to all of the surrounding supports that they may need in a way that best fits in with your section. So I just want to make really clear if you're having one, and then you will create the rules of the road for that. Second, when Tim did a bunch of student focus groups, the reason he was telling you all, and I think most of you know, that we have these services and that they're free. What we were learning is the students do not know that we have these services and they are free. They do not know. So let's not assume that we know and they know that not only do we have them, they should be baked in as a normal part of their student experience, and it does not cost them anything. And we have 24/7 tutoring access, so it's not just during business hours. So I'm really grateful to Tim and the team. I see you, Margaret and Maya over there, that we've got an exceptional crew in the TLC. Real quick, before I let you go, quick enrollment update. These numbers are as of yesterday. So you can see this is our, we've had this notable growth in recent years. It looks a little scary, right, in that image. That's because the dual enrollment comes in late. If we were to assume, and you never should assume, but if you were to assume that dual enrollment hits their goal, and I think they will, that would put us at 9,196 students. So we still have a ways to go, but we're trending in the right direction. Registrations right now are highly volatile. We're seeing a ton of people come to register, and then you see a bunch of people get dropped because they don't pay. So then they come back and register, and we're in that moment. Really, what we want to do is surpass 100% of our goal by a couple percentage points before the first day of classes, because we will see students drop that first week. And I know, I inevitably will always hear after these meetings, I will get some feedback from someone that says all administration cares about is enrollment. A, not true, but B, the enrollment is what drives the business of our college. It pays our checks. And I think the reason I share this with you is not only because this is how we meet those community vibrancy metrics. Every one of those people or numbers is a soul that's being impacted by this college to change our community vibrancy. And for better or worse, we are a nonprofit, but we are a business, and I want you guys to have an understanding of what we're doing. Good stead. We're sitting well for this year, but we can't take our foot off the pedal. The moment we start to divert our attention away from getting those students enrolled, we can backslide quite quickly. Every year I talk to you about retention. We can bring in all these new students, and if we don't serve them right and keep them, we have failed them. And this is looking at our fall to fall. I took our dual enrollment students out of this because they come so late. We have about a 98% retention rate of dual enrollment students. So that's really good. But if you were to look at our non-dual enrollment students that are in a program, those that started last fall, how many are going to come back this fall? Last year we were at 51.5%. We were excited. We broke a milestone marker there. We want to get that up at least to 52%. And then you will always hear me come back and say, what about the other 48? Right? But it is critical. We have got to keep this trajectory. It is so beautiful. But and in order to achieve that, I'm sorry, there's something with the slides. There's a number. I think it's 213. We need 213 more students that were with us last fall that have not yet enrolled. Oh, 231. Thank you. That have not enrolled yet this fall. So, your deans are going to be, then folks in your schools are going to be working on, we call it fall, not fall, spring, not fall, reaching out the students that we thought were going to be back with us that aren't, making that call to say, hey, I saw you weren't back. What's going on? Every student matters. Every student matters. I'm not going to, because we're over on time, I'm not going to go into each one of these. There is important information in it. So I'm just going to say, check out the sessions. If any of these things ring a bell to you, check out the sessions. Many of them have sessions. Two, when I do my video updates, I will go ahead and provide you some of these updates in there, and you can watch the link if you if you want, but I want to respect the time of the schedule. We're well over now. The two things that I'm going to draw out here, just because it's really good news. Dr. Pando mentioned that we got that 3.5 million. Our campaign for the that we're in for the renovate the downtown campus, we're now at about $14.8 million. So really good work there, and you're going to start, if you work at the downtown campus, you are going to start seeing people walking around, architects looking at things. We're going to be pulling faculty voice in to understand what, as we look at remodeling, what all is kind of needed down there. And so you're going to start to see a lot of the work, right? The first phases of the campaign are called the quiet or silent campaign. That's sort of behind us. It's going to get more visible, more vocal. You'll see Dr. Pando and I down there and Dr. Lawson giving a lot of tours, things like that. So just know that we're well on our way. I think I'm really hopeful that we'll end up having to bump our goal from 20 to 30 million. So good news on that front. And then what Dean Tung and Dean Brinkley remind me almost daily is that every one of those healthcare students needs English and math and and history and all of the things. So biology. So we're growing in those as well. Everything else I will send you on Friday in my weekly clip. Please do take a look because I think it's important information to you, but I just want to respect it. I'll also include some dates that you should mark on your agenda. I'm really excited for the year ahead. One of the things that I was going to mention to you when I was going through those things is we started a lot in the last couple of years, and I appreciate the fact that I look at an academic plan and you probably spend less time and care. We created an academic plan and it would cost you all and our students what we're going to do over the course of 3 years. And this is our final year. And we have crushed it. You have crushed it. We have delivered on nearly every single one of those, but this year is going to be a moment where we have a lot of things that we don't necessarily need new. We got to put a bow on some things. We have a lot of things that are and this is kind of good. I've never had a year like this in this role, but it's a year where I was talking to Dr. Pando. I said, we need to tidy some things up. We need to bring things to conclusion so that we can really project forward. And I'm not going to sit up here and promise you nothing new this year, but really, quite literally, I have a list and there's some things that you deserve to have brought resolution and closure, and this is going to be a great year for that. And then we're going to work together looking ahead at what is the next commitment we make with our next 3-year academic plan, and I need your voices and input into that. So when you are well caffeinated, you can I'll caffeinate you. We'll meet and talk about what that might look like in that academic plan for your head. So there's no group of people I'd rather do this work with. And I'm inspired by you. I'm grateful to you. Please don't be strangers. You all know if you drop me a line, I will respond. If you want to meet, let's meet. The open door comment is not simply lip service. So please do reach out to me. Let me know what you are wanting to do, what you want us to stop, all of the things. I'm here for you. I'm just incredibly grateful. Have a wonderful, wonderful year. And a great rest of your afternoon.